This is the insider's look to what I'm actually doing, and as you can see, I'm running Microsoft Visual Basic 2010 Express, which is based off the .NET 2.0 framework. And we have a lot of things going on, so I'm not going to show you everything, but I'm going to show you just kind of like what I got.
And I hate to be late, so I headed east on Sunset. Thinking anything is better than being in love.
What I'm going to show you today is going to be, I'll just show you the persistent real object framework.
Could be more surprised than me.
Alright, this is where everything starts. Persistent real object framework is essentially the framework which all of my applications are built on. So what I created was a way for developers to create these applications using what's called self-managed objects. And basically what that means to a developer is you can create an object and give it a timed life cycle. You can say it's only good for like 5 minutes or 30 seconds or 50 minutes or like 10 days or 40 years or whatever it may be, and you give it an interval for it to be checked against. And when that interval comes up, if it hasn't been renewed and the security has failed or whatever, it automatically manages memory and pulls it out of memory. It will also put it down onto disk and write it to disk if it hasn't been used in a while, and keep it as a security key in place. But I put a lot of things into this. Now the framework requires that you run a service. Service manages all of the objects per application, and you can actually watch what the application is. But I'm going to show you kind of a test of how the persistent real object works per framework tests. Kind of give you an understanding of how easy it actually is. Here I have a load, and you can see I just made up these variable names. They don't mean anything. But in this case, just to give you an idea what a persistent real object has, if I take object QWE and I go to its properties and we walk down, we can see the following: alert on activation. These are all like booleans, like switches. I'm going to say yes, go ahead and do it, or whatever. Alright, I can associate data to it, I can associate objects to it, I can put it on autosave, which is on or off. I can create a date, this is read only, this is for developer information. I can put a description for the object. I can associate a 2D graphic or a 3D graphic, and then I can go to a lifecycle manager. And this is really what people want to see, it's the lifecycle manager. Inside the lifecycle manager, I can say dispose of date time, and I can put it in the date time where it's valid. And I can say it has to go away, so don't use it. Or I can go into a cycle, and I can say cycle it every 5 years or whatever it may be, 30 seconds, whatever you're doing. And then I can enable it or disable it. And that's the lifecycle manager. It's pretty simple. Anyways, if you go through, there's also a messaging manager. Now this is very important because in the messaging manager, I have the ability to send messages back and forth across platform to the service, and the service manages all of it so that I know what happened to the object. Anyways, what ends up happening is when you put that through, the new message. There's automatic messages that are built that the service actually records and logs into a certain way, so people can watch how the application is handling certain things and timing them. Now, the reason why this is important is because in the artificial intelligence systems, in the artificial life systems, timing is actually a really big issue on how to get the thing to work correctly. And because you can't run things just through for loops and so on and so forth, there's what's called neural thread processing.